Hello, this is Niswander. Joining us today on the NOWMAN show is Dustin Brown, who is a multiple award-winning director, screenwriter, and editor whose film Solidarity is a story about two undocumented immigrants living and working in Los Angeles. The film has screened at the 2014 Cannes Film Festival in France and won Best Short Film Awards at the Santa Monica International Film Festival, the San Diego Film Festival, and the Highland Park Independent Film Festival. His 2011 film, Becoming, was the official selection at the Los Angeles Short Film Festival, New Filmmakers Los Angeles, and the grand prize winner at Santa Monica College's Global Citizenship Symposium. He's also the recipient of numerous other awards and recognition, as well as being a 2016 graduate of AFI, the American Film Institute. Dustin's AFI thesis film, Clarity, received the Alfred P. Sloan Foundation for a film that is beginning its festival run. His latest film project is called Solidarity. Let's watch the trailer.
How many hours do you work? Do you work 12 hours a day? 14? Do you make minimum wage here? What's your name?
Solidarity, wow. Dustin Brown, welcome to the NOWMAN show.
Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. Now, Solidarity is a short film, but you are currently right now in production on this film as a full-length feature. What inspired you to make this film?
Yeah, so we made the short film at 2013, and it's had its festival run. The initial idea, I guess, when I was in high school, I grew up in Georgia, a small town near Atlanta, and in high school, one of my best friends growing up was undocumented from Mexico.
Oh,
and,
really?
So I just saw after we graduated and people went off and got jobs or went to school, went to college or whatever, and he couldn't do that. He wasn't able to find a job or go to school, and I just saw the struggle that he went through. And even though he came here as a baby, he lived his whole life here in the States, but he just felt like an outcast, and he felt like an outsider, and it really affected him. And then when I came to Los Angeles, and I met an actor, a good friend of mine, Montes Valenteas, who's the lead actor in the film Solidarity, and he came as an immigrant from Lithuania.
Wow.
And he had a very similar experience, talking about him and feeling like an outsider and struggling to be treated as an equal, you know. And I saw the parallels of these two people's lives and their stories, and I realized that, you know, there's a similarity there, and there's a common human experience that these two people are going through, even though they have different backgrounds, different culture, different languages, but there's a shared human experience there, and that was the first inkling of wanting to tell that story.
And it's a great human story, and you're very good at capturing that on film as well. Now, you're a writer, you're a director, you're a producer, you're a cinematographer, and you generally do everything, right, when you're beginning your career. The next clip that we want to watch is a film called Becoming, and let's watch that right now.
What's it gonna be like?
I don't know. Like before you were born, I guess. You know, you just don't exist.
Is that what you really want to do? 9 to 5 office job.
You should be searching out a career, doing something, being concerned about your success in this life.
Then what are you gonna do with your life?
You can't function out of fear. That's no way to make a decision. I'm not gonna end up like you.
So, Becoming, it tells the story of basically one man's dilemma about survival in the world and trying to, again, the human conflict with, pursuing your dreams while trying to survive in the world. What inspired you to create this story?
Yeah, I mean, that's a, in a way, I had just moved to Los Angeles, and I was in school at Santa Monica College, and I was wanting to make movies and tell stories, and I was looking at other people that I had known, that I'd grown up with, and looking at, in a way, my dad, and seeing, and partly inspired by John Lennon's "Working Class Hero" song, and
Fantastic.
Thinking about this idea of, how sometimes it feels like our life is just pre-planned for us. You go to school so you can get a degree, so you can get a job, so you can work your whole life until you retire, and just being kind of forced into this machine. And here I was, I had traveled across the country, and I moved out to LA, and I didn't know anybody, and I was trying to follow my passion and not wanting to take the safe route, and that dilemma that I think all of us face as artists or as whatever who are following our passion, and it became, and that character in the film became a kind of internal struggle with myself, and exploring those themes and exploring those issues, and trying to kind of wrestle with finding my path, and can we create art and fight against injustice, and fight against the corporate system, and fight against these issues, and how do you do that? So that was the inspiration behind that film.
And it communicates it very well. I mean, it leaves you thinking about that, seriously thinking about that. And it's great making films where you walk away from it and it makes you think. You're still thinking about it. Now, Desert Bloom was a film, just an extraordinarily moving film. I've never seen a drone strike portrayed so realistically on film before. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, that's another film. I mean, as a filmmaker, as a person, I feel a responsibility to speak out against injustice, and I'm drawn to telling stories about social justice issues, or shining a light on voices that are perhaps less seen,
Yes.
And so Desert Bloom was the whole idea of looking at terrorism, if you will, or looking at bombs falling from the point of view of someone living in the Middle East. Particularly in this film, the characters were from Iraq, but it was the story of a family that becomes victim of a drone strike. And what is that like to live where bombs are constantly falling overhead? And,
Yes.
and to find the humanity and to realize that we're all humans, and human life is valid, whether it's a baby born in the Middle East or Africa or here. We're all people.
The same. Yes.
And to show that duality by having a story where we see the same character that's a victim of a drone strike then becomes the perpetrator of the strike, and to see both sides of that and how that affects people, and how violence and destruction, to raise the question of, can that ever be a just thing for either side of the conflict?
That's right. And it's like, it's it's extraordinarily powerful in that after you watch it, it really gets you to think deeply about what are we doing? I mean, that was the first thing that came to my mind, like, what are we doing? How can we even slightly justify this,
Right.
you know?
Well, that's the interesting thing about, you know, with the drone wars, and you know, President Obama has largely increased drone
Yes,
strikes,
that's
and that's supposed to be, you know, so-called better than sending troops there, but it's terror, you know. It is terrorism, and it is destruction, and it's killing innocent people, and so the whole idea is to shine light on that and to show from their point of view what that may be like.
Exactly. So, I mean, it's still killing people, whether you're killing 4 people or 400.
Right.
And yeah, extraordinarily moving, and thank you for doing that. You had Clarity, which is part of your AFI thesis project.
Right.
That's about the brain, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Clarity is it's about the brain. It's also about obsession. It's about a female neuroscientist, and you know, I wanted to explore the scientist as an artist, because I'm passionate about science as well, and I see a lot of similarities between the artistic drive and the passion of that and science and the drive for knowledge and breakthrough, and this was an exploration of a woman who's driven and obsessed to make a breakthrough, who's driven to fulfill her dream, but we start to see at what cost does that obsession do to yourself and to those around you, and so it's an exploration of that, and it's a teacher-student relationship, and it was originally inspired by Marie Curie in her life.
Yes.
Marie Curie, you know, her study of radioactivity and radiation, and she ended up dying from radiation sickness, and so the thing that gave her life's work and the thing that was her passion is also the thing that killed her, and so this is kind of a modern day exploration of that, and the exploration of obsession and your dreams and your passion and your drive, but the thing that you love, what happens if the thing that you love the most is also the thing that's killing you? So that's that's the exploration, the question of this film, Clarity.
That's great stuff, man. I look forward to, you know, your future work. You got some great ideas there. Tell us real quickly, now besides Solidarity, that film is also in production, right, for a full-length feature, Clarity?
Yes, we have a full-length, and right now we have a lot of the same team back from the short, and we're working on making this film. So that Solidarity will be my first feature film, directorial debut.
Full-length.
So, full-length movie. So we're very excited about that one.
Where can people learn more about you and your work?
Yeah, you can go to my website. It's dustintoddfilms.com. You can check out, I update it regularly. All my work is on there.
Excellent. Dustin, thank you so much for being on the NOWMAN show. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
And this is Niswander, and you've been watching the NOWMAN show.
The human brain is the most complex system in the known universe. We know we are approaching the deepest of mysteries.
This is the holy grail in understanding and treating neurological diseases.
What did Arthur say?
We will produce results.
Hello, this is Niswander, the NOWMAN show, and I'm here with the co-founders and co-owners of the Highland Park Independent Film Festival, Marita de la Torre.
Yes, de la Torre.
And Alessandro Gentile.
Gentile. Yeah.
Gentile. See, I know I always need to. I need to learn Spanish. Yeah. Thank you for being on the show.
You're welcome. Thanks for having us.
My pleasure. I recently attended your film festival in Highland Park at the Highland Theatre. I had a great time. I went 2 days, saw some great films.
Yes.
How did you? What inspired you to start this festival?
Yeah, so I guess when I was in college, I always kind of wanted to showcase films.
Yeah.
After I graduated from school in Santa Barbara, actually.
Wow. The film school, or?
Yeah, I went to film school. Yeah, UC Santa Barbara, I'm a gaucho.
Wow, cool.
Yeah. So it was kind of like a thought that I've always had, but I got busy in production, doing film production, and now I'm a cinematographer. So 4 years ago, I joined forces with a little local organization in Highland Park called Nila Art, and we started showcasing independent films. They wanted to do more of a movie in the park thing.
Cool.
But I wanted to do more of an independent film style, which was cool. So we took submissions, and that's when I started. I built a relationship with the Highland Theatre, the owners and managers there, and started building that. Then we had a production company that we started a few years ago. And I had the crazy idea. I'm like, hey, I want to take this to the next level, and so I picked up the phone and called Marita. I'm like, hey, what do you think if I think the timing's right now, we start a film festival.
Wow.
Yeah. And then that's exactly what I told him. I was like, well, because we are in Highland Park, and because he mentioned it will be the Highland Park Independent Film Festival, and that's really what got me on board, because we had just started the production company, and we started producing a film that we're still working on, and I knew how much work it was going to be, but that's what drew me to it, the fact that it was going to be the Highland Park Independent Film Festival, the first of its kind.
Yes.
And I thought the community was, I had been a part of the community and loved it, fallen in love with Highland Park, and I knew everyone would be receptive. And that's when I said, okay, let's do it. Yeah.
Fantastic. And what year was this?
First one was 2014.
2014,
So we're in our third annual.
Early juniors,
And so we've grown. It was definitely a case where, along with our other director, Mark Reitman, we thought, let's do it. Let's try it for a year, and let's see what the community, how they respond, and then we'll decide if we made the right decision.
Yeah.
And so soon after the first one, the response was tremendous.
Yes.
The community was so receptive, and what I loved, and I know these guys share the same sentiment, is that old-time residents of Highland Park, the moms of many years that are still there from 30 years ago, came to the Highland Theatre and made a point to come and tell us thank you, or in some cases, gracias, for what you're doing. And that's when, my heart was like, okay, yes, we're doing the right thing.
See, that's when you're doing something great, and you're bringing an international flavor to the community, and especially since we're here, in the Hollywood area, people are going to appreciate that. And when you actually physically hear that, it's got to mean a lot to you. I mean, it would to me if I was.
For sure. And that's a reward for us, is to hear those comments, or just to hear I used to come here as a kid and I saw Jaws here, right?
Wow.
And I was a little kid, or we had a graffiti artist come out. He was showcasing one of the films. Dark Progressivism was one of our closing.
Oh, how was that?
Oh, it was great,
I didn't get a chance to go that night.
Impactful, yeah.
Wow,
Everyone
that's
that came out, just took that message.
So we had the grandfather of graffiti art in the house, right?
Wow.
And he came out to the Q&A, and it was just when we had our after party at La Cuevita, he came over to me. He's like, you know what? This is amazing what you're doing, man.
That's great.
I remember, when I was a kid coming in here and tagging up the bathroom in the back, I was like,
really?
Yeah, it's so funny.
And now everyone knows.
Yeah, everyone knows.
Is it still back there?
Nah.
No.
The guy's he's getting flown out all over the world now. He's
Yeah.
just he's stuck to the calligraphy style of graffiti, gang art, and just created this whole art form,
Wow.
But it was great to hear those stories, and just great to hear him say, you guys are creating history here. You guys are actually doing something for the community, and it's amazing. I'm here to support you guys however we can. So. And
a lot of filmmakers, are from this community. I mean, Pasadena, Altadena, Highland Park, Boyle Heights. And why not feature local people that are on the international stage, and as well as local
Yeah, we you know, in our production meetings, this sort of was birthed, you know. So yeah, we are the Highland Park Independent Film Festival, and if you live here, you should screen here.
That's right.
And so we're ecstatic that has definitely been the case, that we've given these filmmaking residents in Highland Park the platform to screen their work. You know, that's been a reward as well. And going back to the Highland Theatre, when he approached me, I was like, well, let's do it, and let's, you know, we both said we're going to screen right there. And it sort of has grown with us, you know. The theater is a beautiful grand dome theater from the 1920s. In fact, the festival celebrated its 90th birthday last year.
Really?
Yeah, we threw a big gala bash. People dressed in 20s attire.
Really? That's awesome.
And we had a speakeasy at Kinship Yoga, and then we actually screened the silent movie that opened on Thursday, March 25th. 1925. No, March 5th, 1925. That's when the theater opened, March 5th, 1925. And we screened the very first film, Lady of the Night.
It fell on
the same day.
It's crazy.
Wow.
On Thursday, March 5th, 2015. Yeah.
Wow. And 90 years
90
later.
years later.
What was the film?
It was Lady of the Night, starring Norma Shear. And it was one of her very, you know, she actually cracked a bottle of champagne on the side of the theater to open up the theater that night.
Really?
So, yes, it was the toast of the town, the Highland Theatre, and we actually made a documentary about it to celebrate it. Yeah, the festival, we produced a documentary and showed it. We screened it on its 90th birthday.
Wow, that's fantastic. So you guys are excellent filmmakers too.
Well. That was the other thing that as partners.
You mentor children, high school kids. You do an after-school program at Franklin High School?
At Franklin High School, it's a local high school there in Highland Park. We just, once a week, we go meet with these kids and teach them the fundamentals of filmmaking and
writing.
Yeah, directing.
Light.
And that it is possible to actually make a career out of it, you know. It's not just a dream.
That's right.
Job, right?
That's right.
You know, it's actually, there's possibilities there. And we just recently had our first grad, Shayuda, and she's been with us since the beginning. And she came to us like deathly shy, was not say one single word, till like the following year she's like, I have a YouTube channel. And then the following year after that, it's like, hey, I got accepted to like Northridge for film. You know, we're like,
that's fantastic.
Amazing.
Because CSUN has a really good film program.
So it was really cool to just see that progress and just.
And one of the things that's important to us is to show them that it's important to tell your story.
Yeah.
And once they discover that it's not only important, it's tangible. It's something that they can do through the media of film. It's incredible. They find their voice. You know, literally in her case, she found her voice, and now she's a storyteller. She's telling stories all the time, and that's wonderful.
That's fantastic. And you can realize you can have fun doing something that is really productive.
Absolutely.
You know, and even make a movie about zombies if you want to.
Yes.
Right?
Exactly. Which is
have
what
fun
they're
with
working on. Yes.
You know, I mean, we did as kids, right? We brought back memories when I saw that trailer of the zombie apocalypse. That was so much fun.
Yes. That's our latest projects.
Now, the festival this year, Pedro was the film from Nick Oceano.
Nick Oceano.
See, I need to work on my Spanish grammar and pronunciation. And he's a local guy, right?
Yeah, he's a Texas grown.
San Antonio.
Yeah, San Antonio.
But he lives in.
But he's in LA. He's been in LA for a long time. Yeah.
And and it's been a long time since I've actually literally cried at the movies, and I'm so glad I had something to wipe my eyes with because it was very emotional. Based on the Pedro Zamora film
from MTV Real World,
from
San Francisco.
And incredible, and that was the best film.
Yeah, so won
best feature film.
Best feature film, yes.
And then I'm going to be interviewing Dustin Brown, who has filmed Solidarity, won the best short film, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So what were some other highlights for you guys? The festival?
Well, we had the world premiere of Paint Life. That was actually great. The filmmaker came out from New York, and they had
our first world premiere.
Yeah.
So history in the making.
Fantastic.
Yeah, we're so thankful to him.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, so that was great to kind of like experience that, and he was just very grateful and thankful for that. And then we had we also honored films that are actually in the categories. We had the short film categories, by Women in Cinema, American Latino
Always
Shorts,
my favorites.
LA Stories, and then Bravery and Spirit was another one. So yeah.
And B. Robin?
B. Robin was an amazing.
B. Robin got honorable mention. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And there was a movie about Margaret Cho's carrying on the charity work of Robin Williams in the Bay Area. So,
Right.
so you're reaching out to people in the Bay Area too.
Yeah, well, it's crazy because we've always, like, when we started the film festival, we wanted to penetrate inside the community and break out, as opposed to, you know, getting a PR firm and having them help us, like, bring people in.
Right.
So yeah, we've resonated that far out. I mean, we're international. I mean, we showed films from France, from Germany,
Fantastic.
You know, from different parts of the world. So it's just really Spain, you know. So it was great to kind of like showcase internationally as well.
Yes.
But yeah, the Bay Area is also, you know, sending films out to us as well. It's resonating that far, which is great for us. You know?
That's fantastic.
And one of the great things that, for example, B. Robin does for a film festival is that they branch out of just the film. They had an actual event that actually helped our homeless community in Highland Park.
Right. Wow, wow.
And
Seriously?
so yes, absolutely. We were there on Saturday from 10 a.m. to noon, right before we showed the first films on Saturday, and they had an event, and we documented how our homeless community were able to just, if they needed, they would take. And there was organizations got involved, like Shelter Partnership, like Recycled Resources here in Highland Park, and we created an entire event to help the community through us screening this film.
That's
great. And that inspired us to also do these kind of events with the other films. He mentioned the painting for dark progressivism, and then we also had
one of the graffiti
we
artists.
had dancers, Zulu Maniacs, which was one of our short documentaries. That it was a winner.
Yeah,
So the dancers came, and there were children, not 5 years old, dancing hip hop outside. We created a dance floor for them outside the Highland Theatre, and the entire Highland Park community, you know, was able to enjoy as well. So that was one of the highlights of this year. Really, how we decided, like, let's do anything that can be taken out to the community from this film, and let's have it right outside of the Highland Theatre.
So we kind of merged the outside and the inside a little bit, you know, by doing some events outside.
Thank you so much for being on the NOWMAN
Thank
show.
you for having us.
Marita
de la
Torre and Alessandro
Gentile.
Gentile. This is Niswander, and you're watching the NOWMAN show. Hello, this is NOWMAN. I am the superhero of the present moment and the host of the NOWMAN show.
I'm Andrew Keegan, and when I'm in LA, I watch the NOWMAN show.
We have all kinds of interesting stuff. Education.
Think about it.
Entertainment.
Hi, my name is Erica Podest, and I'm a scientist at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory. And next time I'm in Pasadena, I'll be checking out the NOWMAN show.
Music, film.
Get down, get funky.
Hi, my name is Philip Carrillo. I'm a filmmaker, and each time I'm in Los Angeles, I'm watching the NOWMAN show.
We're on location.
Hi, I'm John Fugelsang, and when I'm in LA, I like to buy lots of shoes and not walk anyplace. But also, I like to watch the NOWMAN show because it is better than the best show on all of TV.
The NOWMAN show is also on YouTube. Now!
The past is gone, the future is yet to come, it's now, right now. The present is here, the future is near, but it's right now. You know, being with you makes the party complete, so keep the body moving and show us your happy feet. At the end of the night, when all is said and done, I wanna know I did the right thing.